Hey guys, Lord Nutsu here, and today we're going to be doing what if deku had a dark side. And we left off on, well, where Suku told everybody, well, his friend group, about his past. Everything except the thing with All Might and his quirk. And that was right after that USJ was over. So, yeah. And we're gonna... Now we get to the Stain arc. So, yeah. And, yeah. Suki sees Ida in a certain type of mood. And, yeah, and forces himself to see what's wrong with Ida. Well, actually, no. He put it to the back of his mind because how Ida was acting. Then, yeah, when Grant... And, yeah, he would go to the same agency. And when he gets to Gran Torino's place, and he sees Gran Torino on the floor, yeah, both Suku and Draven would immediately be like, ah... Yeah, Zuki would just like, and I know you're not dead, you old man. Get up. And yeah, and the old man would be like, of course I'm not dead. And yeah, then, and yeah, and then the old man would be like, no, what are you here for? And yeah, like, Who are you? And yeah, like, the name is Zuku Midoriya, and I came here for Gran Torino. And yeah, then Gran Torino would have liked that, the old man would have liked that answer, and be like, well, you're looking at him. And yeah, Zuku would have looked at him like, Yeah. You're like, kind of thought you would be taller. So, you want to get this over with? And yeah, Gran Torino would be like, I like you already, kid. And yeah, now, let's go. And yeah, then, yeah, Gran Torino would want him to be able to land at least one hit on him, and before time's up. Yeah, then yeah, she would be like, all right, give me a second, and yeah, he would activate full counting real quick, and he would have it at 5% at first, because yeah, he's like, alright, let's do this. And yeah, at first Suku couldn't touch Gran Torino, but then Suku immediately set the percentage to 10%. And he actually landed a hit on Gran Torino at that time. And yeah, or actually no, he wasn't able to. Yeah, Gran Torino, well, he was almost able to hit Gran Torino, but he failed. And yeah, and Gran Torino, like, well, actually, no. Suku would be able to get a hit on him, too, actually. And yeah, and Gran Torino, like, it's been a while since I actually gotten a hit. And yeah, Suku would just be like, and yeah, he would start stretching a little bit, and like, I see now why you're the teacher. You were the teacher of All Might. But there's something telling me that that you are his secondary teacher. And yeah, Gran Torino would stop for a second and like, so you figured it out, eh? Like, yep. No, actually, no. He would be like, so, Tristan already told you, eh? And like, no. I figured that out myself. After all, I'd be thinking that his actual teacher would be the one that was the previous user of it. Of One for All. And yeah, Gran Torino was like, yep, and yeah, Zuko, like, so, what did the previous user look like? And yeah, and Gran Torino would give the exact description of her, and yeah, Zuko would be very confused. Because yeah, and at first he was just standing completely still. And then he would just fall straight down onto his butt. With a very confused face. And yeah, Gran Torino would actually be what? Yeah, then Gran Torino would be like, what's that? What's that face, kid? And yeah, like, I don't think you'll believe me, but during my match with Todoroki, I seen that exact person with others, with 7 other figures. And yeah, Gran Torino would actually be shocked and be like, kid, have you told anyone else this? And he's like, no, you're the first one to actually know this. And he was just started scratching his head and like, so, why am I seeing this? So why am I seeing the 7th? I'm confused. Yeah, Gran Torino would actually sit down right next to him, like, yeah, kid, I had no idea what's going on. And yeah, then Draven would pop up right beside Izuku, and yeah, and like, and yeah, Draven would be like, yeah, Izuku, I have no idea either. I've been trying to figure out why you've been seeing this person, but I can't can't figure it out. And yeah, then Gran Torino, like, so, are you able to call her? And Gran Torino would ask this to Izuku, and yeah, Izuku would be like, let me try. And yeah, then he would like, hey, 7th. And yeah, then she would pop up right behind Izuku with her hands on his shoulders. And yeah, the moment he felt them, he looked up. And yeah, she just had a worn smile. And like, what you need? And yeah. And yeah, Gran Torino would immediately be like, okay, so he can. Huh, and yeah. And then she would look over and see, yeah, a small Gran Torino. And yeah, she would be like, it's been a while, Gran Torino. And yeah. And Gran Torino can't hear her, so yeah, Suki would just like, Gran Torino? And yeah, Gran Torino would look at him, but what is it, kid? I'm like, she says it's been a while, Gran Torino. And yeah, Gran Torino would, like, what's his name? Excuse me. And yeah, he's like, so she can hear me, but I can't hear her. And yeah, so like, yeah. And Gran Torino like, And then Suku like, so what's it as 7th? And and Gran Torino like, Then he would scratch his chin for a little bit. And then a few seconds later, he would snap his fingers and be like, oh, how about you ask her how he's able to see you? How you are able to see her? And so we're like, okay. And he would just look up at her because, he definitely knows that she heard what Gran Torino asked. And she would tell him that he is her grandchild. And Zuko's head would immediately drop. Pretty much, the moment Zuko heard that, literally no one was able to see his entire face anymore. And his face just slowly went down. And Gran Torino was actually concerned. I'm like, kid, are you right? And then, you saw tears slowly drop out of Zuko's eyes. And Draven knew exactly what was going on. Zuko was feeling something he hasn't felt for a few. Sadness and happiness at the same time. And Draven was actually was calming Zuko down. And was about to, but then Zuko would just lift up his head with a smile. With the biggest smile he can muster, and tears flowing from his eyes. And he would start rubbing them away. And Gran Torino would be like, kid, what's going on? And Zuko would just be like, yes, I think at least I'm able to see one of my relatives more often. And Gran Torino it would take him 3 seconds for him to realize that what he meant by that. And Gran Torino would be like, oh. And then he was like, because he does know. I'm just gonna say this. In this timeline, I'm gonna say Gran Torino knew that Nana had a child in America. Alright, I'm back. And where was I? Oh I was talking about. And Gran Torino, after 3 seconds, realized what Zuko was talking about, and then this one, I'm gonna say that Gran Torino knew about Nana having another child in America. So and Gran Torino was like, kid, who is your mother? And Zuko would immediately stop crying and stop showing his smile. And I'm gonna say that All Might forgot to mention that Zuko doesn't have any family left. And Zuko's smile would turn into his smile would disappear. And he would get in an angry aura would start to surround Zuko. And he would just look at Gran Torino and be like, do not mention her. And yeah, Grand Turner would immediately get the message and be like, okay, but seriously, who was your mother? And yeah, Zuko would just be like, her name was Inko Midoriya. And yeah, Gran Torino would immediately click. It would immediately click for Gran Torino, and yeah, like, ooh, okay, that makes more sense. Okay, that makes sense, and yeah, and Zuko, like, but seriously, do not mention her. Do not. And word of advice, Gran Torino, do not dishonor her name, or I will pummel you to the ground until you cannot move one bit. And yeah, Gran Torino, like, okay, because yeah, he's getting a little bit scared because of Zuko because of that, and yeah, Zuko then would go back to normal and be like, good. Now, what were we talking about again? And yeah, Nana would be like, that's my grandchild, and yeah. And yeah, for a moment, Zuko would actually go back to his original self when looking at Nana. And yeah, and Nana would only see this as like, well, something somewhat like Inko when she was little. And yeah, Nana, what? And yeah, remember, Zuko had one for out that at the point Inko sadly was killed. So she would have known of what happened, and she would have seen what happened with the Zuko. What Zuko slightly turned to when that happened. So yeah. And yeah, Grand Channel. Okay, let's. And yeah. You'll be thinking, okay, let's get. Okay, let's try to change the subject. And yeah. Grand Channel, like, okay, let's go patrolling. And yeah. Zuko was like, okay. Yeah, he would go back to normal and like, alright, where to? And yeah, he'd like, Hosu. And like, alright, let's go. And yeah, we're gonna time skip to when they get to Hosu. And when the train is getting attacked by a Nomu. And the moment Zuko sees it, yeah, Zuko's like, yeah, immediately, it's like, yeah, his engaged flip camera just goes from off to on immediately, and he just jumps straight for the Nomu, filled with rage about these things. And yeah, Grand Channel like, care what you're doing, and yeah, Zuko like, and yeah, Grand Channel would see Zuko ready to go straight for the brain. And putting more power into his fist more than more than his entire body. And, yeah, and Gran Torino, like, "Okay, what are you doing?" And yeah, Zuko would punch it in the brain, killing it immediately. And I'm like, these things, if they were alive, they no longer are. So they're pretty much zombies. Just jacked up with a lot of quirks. And yeah, Gran Torino went like, kid. And yeah, then Zuko would see fire and be like, "Gran Torino, just trouble in the city." And yeah, Gran Torino would then look towards the fire and be like, and yeah, he would go towards the city. And yeah, Zuko and him would split up. Unknown to Gran Torino, Zuko stay behind for a few seconds. Then he would quickly search for Ida. And yeah, when he got to that same spot in the original, when he realized that he wasn't with his actual person that he was supposed to be with, he was like, "You have to understand, damn it." And yeah, he would run through the alleys. And remember, in the canon, Zuko could only use 5%. But here, he can use twice that much. So yeah, he's going to be able to get there twice as fast. But I'm going to say Zuko still gets to that, still sees that scene's about to finish off. And then Zuko just jumps forward and punches Stain. And yeah, Zuko would be like, ah. And yeah, this pretty much goes exactly the same. And but this time it's a little bit easier for them because yeah, Zuko has 10% and has knowledge of martial arts, so it's gonna definitely help them. So yeah. And Zuko does something very risky and combines the two martial arts. So yeah. And then we skip to the camp training. The camp that they go to train at, and yeah. And yeah. When they go through the forest, it's a lot easier for Todoroki, Ida, Kirishima, Dengi, Tokiyama, Mina, and Uraraka. Because, yeah, Zuko has given them pointers for their quirks and gave them ideas to make it better for them. For them to use their quirks better. And yeah, for Tokiyami, Zuko just told him, well, don't treat him as a tool. Treat him as a human being, because he's technically a part of you. You can't control him. Just try to work with him, not try to force him to work with you. And yeah, Tokiyami would have done that. And yeah, Tokiyami and Dark Shadow actually have a lot better relationship because of this. And yeah, Todoroki, Ida, Kirishima, Denki, Tokiyami, Mina, and Uraku would actually get to the end a lot faster than everyone else. Plus Izuku. And yeah, when Izuku would say hi to Koda, yeah, Koda was about to hit him in the nuts, but yeah. Izuku just, well, yeah. It would feel like an invisible force stopped Koda's fist from hitting Izuku's testicles. And yeah, and that would be Draven's hand right in front of his fist. And yeah, Izuku would be like, And yeah, Izuku would see Draven's hand move a tad bit back, but only a tad bit. And yeah, Izuku would be like, rude, but nice punch. And yeah, Koda would just be like, I don't want to be around some wannabe heroes. And yeah, Zuku feeling something familiar. Yeah. And when everybody was inside the building, Zuku would go to the bush crowds because I'm going to say that they were all together talking to each other. Zuku would walk out to them and be like, so who's the kid? And yeah. And yeah. One of the Pussy Cats would be like, oh, he's my second cousin. And yeah. Zuko was like, Say, this is a weird. This is probably not my place to ask, but did something bad happen to his parents? And yeah, they're like, you know those, and yet she would have told Izuku about those two heroes that were killed by Muscular, which were Koda's parents. And yeah, Izuku would get a tad bit angry at the fact that, yeah, they died, but he would understand why they died. They died in the line of duty, and they were protecting their child in a way. And yeah, Zuko, and yeah, the moment Zuko heard that, yeah, like, they could barely see Zuko's eyes at that point, and yet he was like, I see. And yeah, Zuko was like, kid, are you alright? And yeah, Zuko was like, I'm fine, just I'm gonna find that kid. And he would turn around and walk away. And yeah, they would be kind of confused. And yeah. And hold on. And yeah, and the person he was talking to was Shino Sakukai, I think. AKA Mandalay. And yeah, so Mandalay or Shino would go to Aizawa and ask, and like, hey, what's up with that kid? And yeah, playing towards Zuko, walking out. And yeah, Aizawa would be like, there's a few things wrong with him, so which one? And yeah. No, actually, no, he was like, what do you mean? And like, and yeah, she would tell him what his reaction was to learning about Koda's parents passing, and yeah, and Aizawa would quickly realized why Suku was like that. Because, yeah, Aizawa knows of what happened to his mother. And, yeah, and yeah. Aizawa, like, was just... That's for Izuku to tell you, not me. But I'll tell you this. Him and Koda... I'm just gonna say this. He does know how Koda feels. And yeah, mentally would be confused. And yeah, and then we get to Izuku searching for Koda, and yeah, he just uses his senses, and he senses Koda at the area that he was, and he'll just walk over there. And yeah, then Izuku, pretending he doesn't even see Koda, would just walk there and just sit down on the ledge, just looking towards the distance. And yeah, then you'd finally stop pretending that he didn't see Koda, and like, oh, hey Koda, I didn't see you there. And yeah, Koda would go, what are you doing here? Leave me alone. Yeah. Then, yeah. Zuku, yeah, pretty much Zuku trying to confront with Koda, but yeah, Koda not letting it happen. And yeah, Zuku would be trying to every single minute, like every single day, trying to get closer with Koda. You know, then the villain attack would happen, and Zuku would be walking would see blue fire and like, and yeah, he'd be like, villain attack, and yeah, he'd immediately use full cowling, one for all, 10%, and rush towards Aizawa and tell him, and be like, Aizawa, and yeah, Aizawa would turn to him, and yeah, Zuku would be running real fast, and then he would stop and be like, blue fire towards forest. Villain attack. How about you? And yeah, Aizawa immediately look inside and yeah, see blue fire. Just not being like a normal forest fire. And yeah, Aizawa would be like, I think you're right, Zuku. I'll make sure the other students are safe. And yeah, Zuku would be like, I'll come with you for the second. I'll just come with you just in case you need it. And yeah, Zuku would just be running. And yeah, and he would see Mandalay. And yeah, Mandalay being worried about Koda. And yeah, for a millisecond, he doesn't know what's going on. Then, boom! And clicks. And yeah. And Zuku would just be like, Mandalay, I know where Koda is. And yeah, then when we flash forward, then we go to Koda's perspective, being scared out of his mind because yeah, he's seeing a muscular, and then right before he's getting crushed, Will's muscular and Koda hear something in the distance, and then boom, Zuku would roll, do a few front flips after grabbing Koda. and then jumped straight up and landed on his feet. While Muscular hit the ground, slam his hand against the ground. And yeah, he put Koda down and, are you right? And yeah, Koda would nod his head slowly, but yeah, still discussing about heroes because yeah, he still was. Yeah, then he would turn around, have his hands right in front of arm right in front of Koda. And then he would like, damn it. And yeah, then he would see that his phone was broken and like, and yeah, he was just like, damn it. And you're like, ah. And then he would quickly go 10% full Cali. And like, ah. And yeah, and he would get into his mixed martial arts. Krav Maga, Line Krav Maga. So yeah, and he was like, oh. And yeah, Suku would have a lot better time fighting Muscular. But at the very end, yeah, Suku's body was trained so much that, yeah. And this time, Suku makes it so when Suku actually KO'd Muscular, he actually made it so Suku actually aimed him for going off the cliff. For Muscular going off the cliff. And yeah, Kodo was almost pushed off the edge because of Muscular's weight. Well, Muscular and the weight. Well, when Muscular was about to get thrown off, punch off the edge. And yeah, he was, but Kodo almost fell off as well. And Suku immediately jumped for Koda and grabbed him with his perfectly fine arm. Grabbed him with his teeth. Grabbed his the collar of his shirt with his teeth. And started pulling him out. Pull him over and yeah, he would then start trying. And yeah, then he would do that. Yeah, then Suku didn't just scream out. In rage. Yeah, he was in a rage at that point because of Koda being injured. Because of Muscular. Both mentally and physically. And yeah, then both Izuku and Koda was about to move, but then yeah, because of all, I'm gonna just say Suku's body had so much. Suku strained his body so much that yeah, he fell unconscious at that moment. And yeah, Kodo was worried about Izuku because, yeah, at this point, Kodo's liking Izuku a lot. So, yeah. So it'd be crazy worried about Izuku. And, yeah. And we get to Izuku in his mind, being like, ah, damn it. Straining my body too much. And yeah, and he would see all the One For All healers. Well, first, he would just see Draven and Nana. And yeah, he would just look over to see Nana on one side and Draven on the other, and like, Draven. Grandma. And yeah, Nana would have tears going down her face because he will have a single tear going down her face. Yeah. First time he calls her grandma. And yeah, and they would both hand out a hand to him, and yeah, she would pull himself up. He would grab onto the hands and they would pull him up. And yeah, Zuko would be like, what happened? And yeah, Draven would be like, you idiot. You strained your body too much. And like, of course I did. And yeah, no. And yeah, then the other one for all users would slowly fade into Zuko's mind. And yeah, and they would be like, hello, it's number 9. And yeah, Zuko would be like, oh, hey, 1 through 6. Seems you guys finally want to meet me. And yeah. And just to make this easier on myself, Zuko's in his mind is 5 years, but well, actually, hold on. And yeah, I'm gonna say it takes everybody a few weeks to actually, like, 3 weeks to be able to find the location where Bakugo was at. And yeah, Suki is and yeah, throughout those 3 weeks he's gonna be unconscious. Actually, no. After a week and a half, he's gonna be unconscious. Yeah, and in those 2 weeks and a half, it's 5 years in Asuku's mindscape. So, yeah, by the time Asuku wakes up, everyone, all of the One For All users see Suku and others as family. So, yeah, Suku sees all the One For All users as his family, and they see him as their little brother. So, yeah. And then, yeah, the moment Zuko wakes up, he wakes up to see All Might, Aizawa, the head of police, and yeah, everyone and all his classmates except his friends there, with an angry face. Actually, no. His classmates are not there. Only All Might is. And the head of police. No, wait, no, not the head of the police, the detective. The detective that is All Might's friend. And yeah, All Might would be having an angry face, and yeah. They pretty much just betray Izuku. And yeah, Nezu is there as well. And yeah, and yeah, all the One For All users see exactly what's going on, and yeah, they're like, nope. And yeah, the first One For All user is like, okay, guys, and yeah, all the One For All users that are dead, yeah, they come up with a plan to stay with Izuku. And yeah, when All Might says, when Izuku immediately realizes that they're treating him as a traitor, yeah, Izuku's getting a tad bit mad. And yeah, and All Might like, give my quirk back, you villain. And Izuku like, where's your proof? And yeah, Nezu would show it to Izuku. Someone that looks exactly like him taking files from the records. And then where he is calling someone at the training camp, and both Zuko knows exactly that those aren't him, especially since in both of them he doesn't have a single scar on his arm or hands or neck. He scanned everything in those, but he's gonna keep quiet about that because he wants to see if they figure it out, which they won't figure it out in time. And he was like, then when he saw that information, he pretended to be sad. And pretty much pretended to be like how he would be if he thought that was. And actually, he is sad. He actually is sad. And then when All Might asked for the quirk back from the villain, she was like, "Here's your quirk back." And he would then pretty much break his finger to the point that blood starts coming out. And all of them are confused, but then Zuko then grabs a syringe, grabs something from his pocket. And it's a very tiny, I believe, small enough to where, it's small enough to where it can make a tiny wound. And he would immediately slash All Might's hand. And then put his finger right above there. And his blood would just immediately straight go into All Might's bloodstream. And like, there's your fucking quirk back. And All Might being pissed goes to punch Zuko, but he stops himself. And then he gets taken away. Now, we go to a unknown person's perspective, and like, might you can trade? No. Whoa. I wonder if he remembers me. Now, for this to make sense, flashback. We go back to when Zuko is 4. And when Zuko's getting beat up by Bakugo, he looks over and sees a little girl. Well, a girl, same age as him, with yellow eyes. And, well, actually, hold on. With yellow eyes, a slit for a pupil, and yellow hair, being beat up as well, but Zuko would help after she got bullied by people as well, and Zuko would immediately go over there and ask if she's alright, and will hold a hand out to her, and ask if she's alright, and she's like, I'm fine. And Suku, being curious, would ask what her quirk is. And yeah, she would say what her quirk is, but being hesitant. But then, after a few seconds, yeah, immediately she thought that Suku would be disgusted and try to bully her, or just saying some mean stuff to her. But then she got an exact opposite reaction from him. Just, yeah, him just being a quirk nerd at that moment, and like, oh, that's so cool, and pretty much saying everything that she could do as a hero. And yeah, they became friends, and Suku would always see her. And then when Suku turned 10, she went missing. And Suku went back to being sad again without her. But hold his hopes up to see her again. And when he was taken away, the Deku Squad still believes in him. And yeah, Todoroki, Tokiyami, Ida, and Kirishima. Yeah, pretty much Todoroki and Tokiyami would be the first ones to rally him and be like, yo, there's something going on. And yeah, and yeah, and yeah, since Zuko, unknowns to everybody, had a video recording of his fight with Stain. And at the end of that video, Zuko had his own speech. And this was just in case he was betrayed by anyone. So yeah. And yeah, pretty much everyone at UA betrayed him that knew him. So yeah, all the teachers. So yeah, pretty much the teachers, the principal, and all the classmates except the Deku Squad. And yeah. And yeah, Zuko set his phone up to once his phone is taken away from him, and it doesn't, and he's not on it for more than 24 hours, that video will be uploaded to the internet. And that's exactly what happens. Well, actually, no. I'm going to say Dobby. Well, actually, no. I'm going to say a different group of people. A different group of people, and one of them having a, I believe, flame quirk. Well, cremation quirk. Pretty much someone like Dobby, but not Dobby. So, yeah. And Toga doesn't join the League of Villains as well. Okay, so yeah, Dobby and Toga don't join. And yeah. And yeah, he gets sent to Tartarus. And Zuko's just waiting. And yeah, and he goes at the end of the second week, Zuko goes into his mind. Well, during the rest of the week, he goes into his mindscape. He still sees the 1 Pro users and asks, "How are you guys still here? And yeah, they tell him, yeah, we did something that could risk us completely being erased, but it worked. And yeah, Zuko felt like, what did you do? And yeah, and the first one for all would tell him, we created a completely different, a completely new quirk. There's a combination of One for All and his quirk. And yeah, Zuko would be like, wait a minute, so you're telling me that? And yeah, they would nod and be like, yeah, we give you a mutated version of One for All and All for One quirk. Yeah, Zuko like, dang. Well, so what now? No, then Zuko like, now. And yeah, Zuko like, well, this works for me in the long run then. And he have an evil smile on his face. And yeah, David answered, why is that? Because yeah, they don't know about his plan. And yeah, Zuko like, well, this is why. And yeah, he would tell him of his plan. And yeah, they were like, ooh. And yeah, none of them were like, and yeah, she would be like, that's my grandchild. And yeah, Zuko rushing a little bit and be like, oh, stop it. And yeah, Frozen would just appear right above Zuko and be like, good thing you did do that. And yeah, Zuko would be like, yeah. Now, let's see who comes to get me out of here. And yeah, so the One for All user would be like, so, what do you want to call this new quirk, Izu? And yeah, pretty much the first One for All user would ask him, but as Zuko, and he'd be like, how about Hybrid Overdrive? And yeah, the One for All users are like, that's a good name for it. And yeah, in the all the quirks that are part of this, that Zuko will gain in the that are from the One for All users or Hybrid Overdrive users now is this. Yeah, so the last two, you can probably see where I'm going with that. But if you can't, you'll find out eventually. And with Perfect Copy, yeah, he can, forget it. For Perfect Copy, he can literally copy anything. Like, pretty much a Sharingan, but 20 times better. And with Perfect Edit, he can edit someone's quirk, someone's body, anything. So, yeah. And at the end of the week, we see Toga. Well, actually, no. We see Zuko looking like this. Yeah. His hair, pretty much, most of his hair started turning white. And his eyes are a mix of Draven's eye color and his own eye color, which is green. So yeah, you can see where I'm going with that. So yeah, and his new name will be Drakudova. So yeah, new name. The name he will go by now is Drakudova. So yeah. then he hears an explosion nearby in the prison Tartarus. And yeah, he's like, And yeah, then we go to the perspective of Dobby in toga. And yeah, Suku like, seems like it's time. Yeah, then whoever edit his, and yeah, he has full control of all the powers that he is given by the one for all the hybrid overdrive users. So yeah, he can perfectly copy or edit anything. So yeah, and so he would perfectly copy. No, he would edit his prison outfit to be this. But he wouldn't have the mask yet. So yeah. And Suku would just easily... Well, first he would just pull off the collar, the quirk cancellation collar with just brute strength alone. And then edit his prisoner outfit to this. And yeah, and then he would use the quirk. Yeah, and then he would use his sixth sense, which is technically boosted by one of the quirks that he has now. Yeah, he would use his boosted sixth sense, which now he can sense the aura of people. And by their aura, he can figure out who they are, if he has seen them before. And he senses someone's aura that is very familiar to him, that he has known for a few years. And yeah, he would go over to them. Go over to the two auras that are coming towards him. Yeah, Suku would just be walking. And yeah, and police officers and heroes in the Tartarus that make sure prisoners don't escape. But like, hey, stop! And Suku just knock him out easily. And yeah, and he doesn't also, and for the perfect edit, he only needs to look at you to perfectly edit you. So yeah, and he edits the police officers and heroes so much that, yeah, their bodies are very frail. Well, yeah, he reduces their muscles so much, like, makes it to where their muscles are as if they were newborn babies. To all the police officers and heroes. Yeah, then once he sees Dobby and Toga, he's like, so you two are the... And he would stop once he's looked to Toga's eyes. And he knew who she was. And yeah, and he would just give a smile. But seems like you remember me. That's nice. And yeah, Toga was like, you do remember me, Easy-chan. And yeah, Suku was like, it's so nice to see you again. And yeah, and Dobby was like, so you two know each other. And Suku was like, where my manners? You may call me Draku, though. Draku. And yeah, and she's like, what happened to your old name? Why you change it? And Suku like, well, Toga, let's just say two personalities turned two of my personalities. And yeah, actually, like, Toga, remember my other personality I had? And yeah, she'd be like, oh, the one you called Draven? And yeah, Toga would be like, yeah. We pretty much fused. So now, new name? Deku. And yeah, she'd be like, ah, that makes sense. And yeah, W would be like, and yeah, she would be like, so, I'm pretty sure we should get out of here. And yeah, Zuko would be saying that. And yeah, W would be like, oh, right. And yeah, Zuko would be like, and yeah, Toga would be like, yay, let's go. And yeah, Zuko would be like, Yeah, then Zuko would just be like, And then he would be like, alright, here we go. And then he would just use hybrid overdrive 20% because, yeah, this is a better version for him because, yeah, he can control it way better. And, yeah, he did train the whole time. And, yeah, this is pretty much happened the same time All Might's fighting All for One. And, yeah, so he just was like, alright, let's go. And he would, trailing hybrid overdrive 20%, full Cowling technically, he would grab both Dobby's and Toga's wrists and start running. Yeah, he would be running so fast that, yeah, he's running on water. And yeah, Dobby looked, and yeah, Zuko, when Zuko looked at both of them at the same time, and yeah, right before Zuko grabbed their wrists, Zuko edited their bodies to where they could resist it would feel like a breeze going off their face when Zuko's running at 20% hybrid overdrive full Cowling. And yeah, Dobby would be like, then he would look down and be like, how the hell are you doing that? And yeah, Zuko would be like, Zuko would just look at Dobby and be like, just am. And yeah, he would just continue running. And they would get in Zuko would get to him, and yeah, Zuko trying to move his head to Toga and be like, hey Toga, do you have where have you been hiding all this time? Just wondering. And yeah, she's like, and yeah, then she would tell him where, and yeah, Zuko would be like, thank you, Toga-chan. And yeah, she would be like, huh? And yeah, she would be blushing at that. And she would be like, And yeah, then he would turn to that direction and start running to that building. And yeah, then he would stop, and both of them would land. And yeah, so that way I'm like, so what now? And yeah, so like, well, first, I would like you two to get out of the building real fast. And yeah, Toga and Dobby like, why? And yeah, Zuko like, you'll find out. You know, then they would walk out, Toga would hesitantly walk out, and yeah, Dobby would just do it. And then Zuko would be like, yeah, the Zuko would start shouting like, alright, time to change this place up. Yeah, then you just for Zuko to edit a building or no living object, he has to actually touch it, and he would touch the ground of the building, and yeah, he would edit it. The outside of it would look exactly the same, but which is just a well, actually no, it just slowly. Yeah, the outside of it would, the windows would slowly go back to normal. But it will go back to their normal state, but it would still look like it's abandoned. But with the windows being not being able to see through the windows. In the inside, yeah, he would just make a bar, few bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 1 dining room, 3 beds, and I'm gonna say Zuko perfectly copied someone's quirk that could duplicate stuff while he was in the prison. Well, while he walked through the prison and made it better. Yeah, his perfect copy also makes the quirk that he copies twice as better, and he technically keeps that better version of the quirk. So yeah, then he grabs it, and then he touches his vigilante outfit, and then starts duplicating it, and he duplicates it 20 times. So then there's 20 vigilante outfit. Now there's 20 of his vigilante outfit on the ground, and then he edits his clothing that he has on right now to civilian clothing, and then he duplicates that 20 times. Then he duplicates that the civilian clothing 20 times. Yeah, then he would bring up all his clothes into his room. And yeah, then he would walk back down, and yeah, let's say that building had a metal door. Yeah, so in the door, and Zuko made sure to make the door look still look rusty. And yeah, Tugga and Dolly saw the windows kind of go back to normal, but you can't look through the windows now, and yeah, it still looks abandoned. Then Zuko would be like, alright. And yeah, and then Zuko would just walk out, just slapping his hands together and be like, done. And yeah, Tugga and Dobby would be very confused and be like, what did you do? And yeah, Zuko would be like, I made the inside a lot better for us. Once you walk inside, you'll figure out. And yeah, then both Tugga and Dobby will walk into the building again, and see a beautiful inside for a building. And yeah, Dobby would and Tugga would be like, whoa! No, Dobby would be like, whoa. Huh. And Zuko would be like, so? How do you like the place we'll be spending most of our time at for now? How do you like it? And yeah, Donald would be like, And yeah, Toga like, it's so beautiful. It's good. I love it. Is it 10? Is it 10? And yeah, Dolly like, it's good. And yeah, so like, oh, I almost forgot. And then he would play his hand against the wall, and then make his fridge pop into the dining room. No, into the kitchen. Yeah, make a kitchen as well. And with all the stuff you would need for a kitchen. And yeah, Dobby and Toga would hear a part of the building start morphing into something. Yeah, and they would love to see a kitchen forming. And yeah, and Dobby would be like, okay, how does that work? And yeah, and Zuko would be like, well, with the one quirk I have, it gives me a few more quirks. Let's just say I have, my quirk gives me sub quirks. And yeah, and in one of them, I can perfectly edit anything. So I can change the material of anything and, well, do that. And yeah, Dobby was like, so, what else did you change? And she would be like, well, first off, there's 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. I thought we would want our privacy, so... And yeah, and Dobby was like, you thought of everything. So like, there's one thing we don't have here, obviously. Food. Which... Toga... How... I can smell blood on you, so how many people have you killed? And yeah, she would say it, and like, okay, good. You didn't kill enough people to be, well, to be noticed by the public. So, we're good. And Dobby, what about you? And yeah, and Dobby would tell him how many he has killed. Which, as far as I know, it was none. And yeah, and she was like, that's pretty lucky. Alright. Well, since we're gonna be working together, may as well tell you this. I'll just tell you guys my other sub quirks. I may as well, since we'll be working together. But if either of you betray me, which I know Toga will, I highly doubt that Toga will, but with Dobby, I'm not so sure. So, Dobby, if you betray me, I will hunt you down and then torture you very slowly and not give you the satisfaction. And if you beg for death, I will not give it to you. Do you understand me, Dobby? And yeah, and Dobby was like, yes, sir. Yeah. He's kind of already like Inuzuku. And he's like, Inuzuku, like, good. Now that we're in agreement, I will tell you guys my sub-quirks. First, I'm able to take and give quirks. I have the ability to float. I'm able to conjure black woods. I have a quirk that boosts a sense that I gained from martial arts training. And I have perfect copy and perfect edit. You already know what perfect edit does, but with perfect copy, I can perfectly copy anything and make it twice as better. In the drawback that it originally had, it will not be with me. And yeah, Dobby and I'm like, oh, well shit. And yeah, and Chonga was like, ooh, and yeah, and Zuko was like, I know. And yeah, Zuko then were like, and yeah, then Zuko was like, Chonga, do you mind if I do something real quick? I promise it won't hurt you that much, but it might tickle a little bit. And yeah, she was like, of course, Ninja Kun. And yeah, Zuko was like, okay. But you may feel a little bit weird for a few minutes. And then he would stare and his eyes would change. And yeah, and when he used perfect edit, his eyes would glow a yellow color. And when he uses perfect copy, it glows dark and it glows black. His eyes glow black when he uses perfect copy. And yeah, and then he would perfectly edit Toga's quirk and change it to where, yeah, she can control. He would pretty much completely erase Toga's original quirk and give her a quirk that pretty much allows her to control blood in any way she wishes to. And yeah, she would feel weird for a few minutes. And yeah, Zuko would be like, and yeah, she'd be like, what you do? And Zuko would be like, well, I edited your quirk. I made one I thought it would be a lot better for you. And yeah, Dobby being curious and being like, what did you change it to? And like, oh, I made it so she can control blood to any way she wants to. But the only drawback is that if she uses her quirk way too much, yeah, she'll pass out. Yeah, but then he'll like, but she can increase to how much she can do it, how long she can do it for. And yeah, and Dobby will be like, so and yeah, and he'll be like, oh, and Dobby, what is your quirk? And yeah, then he would tell him and also tell him that he has a drawback because of his mother's quirk that made him. Yeah, you pretty much just say it. And yeah, and she was like, give me a second. And then he would look at Dobby and edit his quirk to where that the drawback about him being not his quirk not perfect for his body. Yeah, that now it's perfect. So yeah, that drawback that his mother pretty much gave him, yeah, that's pretty much gone now. So and Suku made it so he has cremation. He has a pyrokinesis of cremation, a cremation pyrokinesis. And yeah, and Dobby, but what did you do? And yeah, she was like, well, first, I got rid of that drawback that your mother pretty much gave you. And I made it to where you can perfectly control your fire. So pretty much pyrokinesis, but with cremation as well. And yeah, so in W, like, thanks, Draku. And she's like, you're welcome, Dobby. And Toga, and she's like, yes, Andrew-kun. Like, we'll be okay with you when we're out in public to call me Draku. And yeah, she's like, oh yeah, she's like, that's fine with me, Izzy-chan, kun. And he's like, ah, good. Now, let's get to now, let's get to know each other a lot better. And yeah, that's where we're gonna end it off for now. If you guys like this, like, comment, and subscribe for more. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.